Hi, my beautiful dragon people, and welcome to part 2 of the Art of the Dragon Prince review. We have finally arrived at the first of the 3 main sections of content. Book 1, Moon. The land of Zadia has been divided by bloodshed between humans and magical creatures for centuries. The story of the Dragon Prince begins when a trio of unlikely allies uncovers a secret hidden deep in the human territories, the stolen egg of the Dragon King and Queen. Together they embark on a race to return the egg to the Dragon Queen before the world tears itself apart. But if you guys are watching a video about the Dragon Prince, you guys already know that. So, on page 16, we get some incredible art for Callum, and I bet you a lot of this stuff is going to help with cosplaying as well. Callum! Callum is the stepson of King Harrow, but he's never felt like a real prince. He prefers art to swordplay, and he falls off nearly every horse he rides, but he keeps his head up, knowing that he's good at what matters, watching out for his little brother Ezrin. Nevertheless, Callum dreams of a different path, studying magic. But everyone knows humans can't be mages. So here we get some alternate versions of his scarf, which I really like. I actually like all of these, and I would be really interested to see different versions of this show up on the show. That would be pretty cool. And down here we get to look at his wonderful ceremonial armor. I really like the one that they ended up going with. It just looks so much more awkward, but oh so shiny. Then you get to see that he actually has a strap for his book, which is actually really interesting. It's something I never really thought about, but it makes sense that you would put that on a strap from a creative side. That way you don't have to animate him stopping, opening his bag, and pulling out the book every time he needs to cast a spell, which I imagine later in the series he's going to be casting a lot more spells. Then we get some more like sketches and looks like that, and I really like this tired look on his face here. That's a mood right there. Like, I can relate to that. Ezrin. The weight of ruling a kingdom on the brink of a war will one day rest on Prince Ezrin's tiny shoulders, but his endless, big-hearted optimism makes him ready to take on everything from dragons and rebellions to overprotective bakers with the help of his glow-toed bait, of course. So here we get a great bunch of sketches of not just my boy Ez, but of Bait. I especially love this one here with him with the crown on. Like, I would serve him. If he was my king, I would serve King Bait. I would bring him everything he could ever want, because Bait is so cute. I love him so much. And then down here we get to see alternate color costume for him, which is really good. Blue is a really good color for Ezrin. I think it really brings out his eyes really nicely. And then, of course, over here we get to see some more of what we already saw released in the San Diego live stream, where you get to see the different moods of Bait. You know, regular grumpy, angry and grumpy, sad and grumpy, embarrassed and grumpy. They're all grumpy. I think that he looks pretty cool in the orange and blue. Is a nice little like inversion for him. I think it's pretty sick looking. This picture up here of Bait is also a mood. That's me every Thanksgiving. Page 20, Rayla. Rayla could be the fastest, strongest, most talented Moonshadow Elf assassin of her generation, but there's just one minor problem. She's never actually taken a life. She sets out to prove herself, but Rayla's empathy for the enemy leads her to discover her true purpose, one that might just save the world from all-out war. So we get some cool alternate art for Rayla. She has this strange like metal bracer thing on her arm, and I'm not a huge fan of it, only because it looks kind of heavy. It seems strange to me for a character that's supposed to be like quick on her feet and agile and quiet to have any kind of like metal armor. So I really like the design that they ended up going with. Then down here we get to see some great sketches of her making different faces and her 4-fingered hand, which is pretty interesting. I never realized how like square tipped her fingers were. Very interesting here in this art. And then over here we get to see the the magical bindings and a couple different stages. Page 20, Claudia. Claudia's head-in-the-cloud personality belies her immense talent for dark magic. She is her father's pride and joy, even when she's using her supernatural abilities to make her brother Soren think there's something stuck in his teeth. That is classic Claudia! Da-da-da-da-da-da. That's Claudia! Here we get some cool sketches of her making different expressions and her sitting down by the tree that's been there for 300 years. Claudia's playfulness can transform into deadly focus when the proper moment arises. We also get to see the book she was reading, Love Amongst the Dragons, which is a nice little nod to the Ember Island Players episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And we get to see her horse with the moderately kind eyes. Page 23, Soren. Soren's skill in swordsmanship is equaled only by his ego. He's the youngest warrior ever named to be crowned guard, the king's elite defenders. But deep beneath the muscles and bluster, Soren hides a big heart and a desire to do the right thing. So here we get some great expression of Soren doing his Soren faces, and this one where he looks like he's maybe like a zombie or something. It's really weird, really strange expression. I don't know what that face is or what it's supposed to be conveying, but I really dig it. Then down here we get to see different alternate armor sets. I really like this one here with the red and the white and the blue. It's just got a lot more color to it, and I really like it. Page 24, Viren. Here we go. So now we're getting into the good stuff. I love me some Viren. As King Harrow's closest advisor and lifelong friend, Viren serves as High Mage of Callus. Viren's skill as a dark mage allows for creative solutions to difficult problems. But the hidden costs of his magic have begun to erode Harrow's trust in him. So here we get to see different versions of his staff, or maybe it's just the way that his staff kind of changes shape. It's really interesting. I'm really curious what this is about. In the intro for the show, you see that the other mage is using the same staff, but it has some strange thing attached to the top of it, and I'm wondering where that is and if that's going to come into play later in the series. Down here we get to see different versions of him, and this one right here in particular I'm not a big fan of. He looks kind of swole, and I'm not okay with that. He looks muscular. Am I crazy? He looks kind of muscular, and I don't know. It's weird to me because this character is kind of like a weird nerd guy. Like when he's trying to figure out a solution to the problem of feeding the two kingdoms, he goes and he gets like a bunch of books. So it just seems weird that this like nerdy character would be muscular like at all. Like I feel like he would much prefer his books to working out. Page 25, Harrow. When he took the crown, Harrow swore to be a servant king and rule with care and compassion for all the people of Callus. However, his reign has not been easy, and a history of sacrifice and bloodshed weighs heavy on his heart. So here we get some great art of King Harrow. The one that I particularly like is right here, where he kind of has his hair down, and his beard is a little bit longer and looks a little bit closer to the beard that Viren actually has. I actually really like the idea of them like copying each other's beards, be like beard brothers. And then at the bottom here we get some art of Pip looking like a cute little birdie who gives the best birdie kisses. Page 26, Runan. Cold and sharp as steel, Runan is the leader of Xadia's deadliest assassins. Despite his bloody calling, he is not without love for his people and family. His protege Rayla is like a daughter to him. Okay, so here we got some really interesting art for him, different variants on his horns. So I kind of like the idea of the Moonshadow Elves having maybe slightly different looking horns, but I think that some of the designs here are a little too different and don't quite fit. He looks like he might be almost Earthblood elf here with the type of horns he has, but I might be crazy. Page 27. So here we go, guys. This is the real content that we're here for. This is why I bought the book, Barius the Baker. I want more Baker content. That's why I bought this book. Much like his signature jelly tarts, Barius the Baker is crusty on the outside, but warm, soft, and gooey on the inside. So here we get to see his iconic roller, the masterful weapon that he uses to fight the evil armies of Viren in the finale of Season 3. And we get a couple of different variants on his costume. I really like this one here, where he looks a lot more impoverished. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just think of like peasants because of this hat that he's wearing. And then down here we also get to just look at some different sketches for citizens. The diversity in Catullus needed to go deeper than just the main cast. The citizen represents the kingdom's many skin tones, body types, and ages. Later episodes called for background couples, many of which are the same gender or interracial, which is wonderful and one of the things that I love the most about the Dragon Prince. Alright, Spotlight. Creatures of Xadia. Alrighty guys, well that's all the time we have for this video. As always, if you liked the video, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. I really want to see this community grow. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm off to rewatch The Dragon Prince. See ya.